everybody. So I just made my exciting announcement about my new addition, a better audio on my channel. So this is my first actual video to film, and I decided to continue on in my ABCs and my Blu-ray library series week. We are on the letters K and L, and I actually don't have that many K and L's, but I have a million M's, so I definitely couldn't include that letter in. But I ended up with 5. Well, really 7, because 1 is a trilogy. So let's look at it. They're all really, really excellent films. So the first one is Kikis Delivery Service, and this is a great anime film for people who don't think that they like anime, because it's really a basic, fun story about a witch, a girl who is trying to get along with people and trying to live a normal teenage life, but she's got these powers, and it's just a wonderful little movie by the Studio Ghibli folks. And it's just not as out there or trying to be philosophic or bold. It's more for little children, kind of along the lines of Totoro or Ponyo. But I think this is even more approachable than either of those. So if you know somebody who you're dying to get them in the Miyazaki anime train, this is a really good kind of starter film. And the Blu-ray was just released a couple of months ago, and it's gorgeous. Tons of special features. So this is definitely a must-have for any animation fan. Knight's Tale, and this I got when Blockbuster was going out of business. That's why it has sort of the weird packaging, and it's silly, just fun comedy, kind of a riff on the Knight's stories. It's certainly not as good as Monty Python, but it's kind of along, and the Holy Grail, but it's kind of along that same kind of lines of humor and satire and everything. But it's got some engaging performances with, of course, Heath Ledger. This is a really fun one for a party or for a group when you just want a fun action film comedy. Then next, I have Les Miserables, and I understand that this movie is not perfect, and there's no fangirl more of Les Miserables more than me. I love the musical. I went and saw it when I was 14, and I literally had every single line memorized. I knew the entire. If they needed an understudy, they could have called me down, and I could have done any part. That's how well I literally knew the show. I love the story of mercy versus justice, and the battle between Javert and Jean Valjean is so great. I think Javert is one of the most complex villains ever, and this is one of the rare instances where I honestly think the musical / I guess movie is better than the book. I love a lot of things about the book, but boy, some of his political commentary is hard to get through. I like long books. Some of my favorite books are really, really long books, but I found Les Miserables to be hard to get through. But I really like it. It's all live singing. I think the performances, aside from Russell Crowe, are all really good. I like the visual splendor of it all. I realized I had seen a pretty bad high school version of Les Miserables, and I still loved it. So I realized I just love the show so much that even a bad version or a less than perfect version is still a huge win on my part. And I just love the message of sort of mercy versus justice. And I think that is able to overcome some of maybe the more weaker sections. Cosette and Marius romance is very cheesy, and I really don't like the songs in that. Or A Heart Full of Love is a really cornball song. But I love Fantine and her struggle, and I think I was so skeptical about Anne Hathaway, but I thought she nailed it. I really was with her, and I was really moved by her performance. I think Hugh Jackman is great. I just really, really enjoyed the movie. It's definitely one of my favorites from that year. I have Lilo and Stitch. And Lilo and Stitch has really grown on me, and the Blu-ray was a good price. It's one I really didn't like going into my Canon project. And then I watched it, and I remembered all the great things about it. But I still have things I don't like about it. I really still don't like the design of Stitch. I don't like how mean he is. I think it's a little bit too much. It just makes it feel kind of like, oh my gosh, this family. I just feel so bad. Like, I don't know, it's just too much. And I just don't like, he looks like a cockroach to me. I just find him so unpleasant looking. But the stuff I do like, I love. So, you know, it's kind of a movie doesn't have to be perfect for me to really enjoy it. And I love the Hawaii stuff. You guys know me. I love Hawaii. It's my second home. And I love the Hawaii music. I love the surfing. I love just the whole Hawaii influence on the movie. I love the relationship between Noni and Lilo. I just, and the whole message of family and Mohana. And I love just the heart of the movie. I love the fact that it's about a little kid. Very few Disney movies are actually about children. That is so refreshing. I love that she's kind of a weird kid, and she's just like most actual kids. She's not a perfect, precocious, spunky little kid that you would see in most movies, and certainly most Disney movies. She's kind of weird and different and thinks for herself and has her own way of doing things. I love that. I think that's great. I think it has a lot of lovely things to say about grief and about how we have to continue on, but we keep that memory. So I really think there are a lot of great things about Lilo and Stitch. It's certainly worth having in my library. One of my favorite movies ever, I love it, is The Little Mermaid. It was my favorite movie probably until I was about 15. And it's definitely in my top 3, 4, 5 movies of all time. I love it so much. It was so important to me growing up. I was so moved by it. I love the music. The Ashman Menken music is amazing. Ursula's an incredible villain. I just love the idea of the character who's uncomfortable in her own skin, and she knows she doesn't belong, but she doesn't know how to get there. She tries whatever she can. And she, makes a lot of mistakes along the way, but that desire of hers to find where she belongs, I just think is so moving. It's something I really responded to as a little girl, and something I still respond to now. I love the comedy. It just has something. I feel like it has something for everybody. I love the Poissons song. I think it's hilarious. It's got some slapstick. It's got some just great humor, and I love Sebastian. I Jodie Benson. The vocals, the voice performances are wonderful. I love all the bubbles, a million bubbles they had to animate. It's just, to me, I know I'll have flaws with it. People don't like it, some people, but this is my video and what I like, and to me, it's basically a perfect movie. I love it, and it's definitely one that I can't wait if I have kids to watch it with them, because it just was, I would just sing the songs. Like, it was kind of like Little Mermaid was the big thing until I discovered Les Mis. So it's kind of funny they're both on this video, because they were definitely the biggest musical influences of my growing up years. My last pick is the Lord of the Rings for Elves, and these are just the best fantasy films ever made. I mean, they take books that we would think would be unfilmable, and they do a great job filming them. I think sometimes they can get a little battle crazy, especially in the second one, but I still really enjoy all the performances. I love Samwise. I just think that is just Sean Astin in that role is so lovely. It's my favorite character in the book, and I love his performance and the character in the movie, especially the third movie, when really the focus moves away from being about Frodo to being about Samwise. He becomes the hero of the movie, and the person who is really going to have to make the tough choice because of the control that the ring has over Frodo. And so I love Lord of the Rings. They're just great movies. They're so entertaining. They've got action, they've got romance, they've got, and you can quibble about, well, that stuff wasn't really in the book. And I do wish they'd focused a little bit more on the hobbits, but overall I think they made an incredibly satisfying picture, and definitely one of the best trilogies ever made. And it's definitely something you want to have in your Blu-ray library. You want it on HD. And so this is the 3-part collection. I don't have the extended edition and everything because I'm not that hardcore. Yeah, let me know what you think of my K's and L's. Got Kikis delivery service, which is great. I've got Knight's Tale, Les Miserables, Lilo and Stitch, The Little Mermaid, and The Lord of the Rings. So those are some great movies. Very good choices for K and L. Let me know what you think of these films, and also what are some of your favorite K and L movies. I'd love to hear that. So thanks so much, and have a great day.